Wherever you're in the world watching Channels Television, this is Sports This Morning. We're broadcasting live from our studio in Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. My name is Austin Okunakpan. On the show today, we'll give attention to table tennis. It is arguably one of the most popular street sports in Nigeria, and the Lagos State government is doing all they can to ensure that that game gets back its street credibility. The Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship, the 45th edition, is getting ready to serve off, and we'll give attention to that one. The technical director of the Lagos State Table Tennis Association, John Peters, will join us live on the show to talk more on the Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship and, of course, an all-round development of the sport in Nigeria. On the second part of the show, you know it, the final qualifying games of the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil has been concluded. We're just waiting for that final game between New Zealand and Mexico, and it has been played. And tomorrow we'll see the one between Jordan and Mexico. In Africa, it is Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, and yesterday we saw the game between Burkina Faso and Algeria. Algeria represent Africa as the only North African team coming from that one we saw yesterday. And also the game between Sweden and Portugal. It was a tale of Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was on fire. He told his critics to shut up. Hat-trick for that to take Portugal to the World Cup. So much to talk about. Meanwhile, let's quickly take a look at the development of table tennis in Nigeria. There's a report from the 25th edition of the Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship. I'll come back. We'll talk about that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay. These are not the regular faces you see at a sports gathering, but they are here today to honor the longest playing tournament in Nigeria, the Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship. This is the 45th edition of the tournament. I asked the sponsor, Chief Molade Okoya Thomas, what has been the inspiration for the sustenance.
It's from my youth. My dear father who loved me so much, built 3 standard table tennis for me, and we had it in front of our house, 23 Okeologbo Street. And all my friends up to Itakoni, up to Tinumbu, my school friends from Babizaka, they used to come and play in front of our house. That was where I developed the interest in table tennis.
Table tennis is arguably one of the most popular street games in Nigeria. The Lagos State Commissioner for Sports explains the major factor responsible for its popularity.
Every top athlete that's represented Nigeria over the last 30-40 years owes something to the work of Chief Molade Okoya Thomas, and in that vein, that's the backbone of table tennis.
The tournament will serve off on Monday the 25th of November, and the finals will be played on Friday the 29th. The winner will also go home with this trophy.
Look at the talents that this tournament is producing. What is left is better training for the table tennis champions. So through the Ashojoba tournament, we can produce world champions in table tennis, and I know we will.
The Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship is renowned for its consistency, and in the words of Chief Okoya Thomas, if Nigeria must regain its lost glory in sports, the country must give attention to grassroots development.
Ashojoba is a Yoruba word. In English, it means the ambassador. Molade Okoya Thomas has indeed proven to be a remarkable ambassador towards the development of table tennis in Nigeria. Interestingly, he started sponsoring this championship when he was just 30. He's 75 years old now and witnessing the 45th edition. Remarkable. His dream is to make table tennis the most popular sport in the country. Austin Okunakpan, Channels Television News.
So that's it. The Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship gets our attention right now on the show, and John Peters, the technical director of the Lagos State Table Tennis Association, joins us now. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you on the show.
Good morning, and I'm so glad to be here again.
Okay, I know there's this long journey towards the development of table tennis in Nigeria. It used to be the most recognized, if I'm not mistaken, sport in Nigeria. Every street, plays table tennis, but then we witness a decline. How far are we towards getting table tennis back to the streets?
Even with the decline, I still can claim that table tennis is the most popular sport in Nigeria today because it is available almost everywhere. Unlike some other sports, it's not expensive. The equipment that we use to play table tennis are very handy and very available to even kids. Some of them improvise, and that's about the only sport which allows for that. So table tennis is still very, very popular. What may have caused that misconception was that over time we have been champions in Africa. Suddenly we lost our bearing and we were no longer champions. Egypt overtook us, and that was because of good planning. At the senior level, Egypt knew there was no way they could catch up with us, so they concentrated on their junior development. And today, if you watch the last classics in Lagos, that guy who won the men's singles event was actually just coming up from the junior category. Today, in the November world ranking, is number 57. He was number 99 or thereabout when he came to Lagos. Now he has gone up to number 57. So our challenge for now is how to develop our junior category so that when the likes of Segun Toriola and the rest of them leave the stage, these other ones will take over.
Let's talk about the junior category, and I know it's important to take table tennis back to the schools. What programs are in place to do that?
Well, one of the success stories of the Ashojuoba tournament is that it is played in 3 categories. We have the cadet, we have the junior, and we have the senior. Cadet players are players that are under 15, junior under 18, and the senior open. So, interestingly, some of the cadet players that took part in Ashojuoba graduated from the cadet category, came up to the junior category, started winning, and now they are in the senior category. So there's that gradual development for them to come up, and that's about one of the ways. Secondly, since the incoming of the president of the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, who also doubles as the Honorable Commissioner for Sports in Lagos State, there have been so many of these players exposed to international tournaments. At the end of this month, about 10 of them will be moving out of Nigeria to take part in the World Junior Championships in Morocco. These are steps that are being taken to see that they are developed, because if they are champions just within here and they do not participate against other players from other countries, they really cannot measure their standards. But because they have this opportunity, and we were in Tunisia last year, we were in Egypt. In fact, currently some of our players just came back from Egypt, and again they are going to go to Morocco. So at the junior level,
we're doing a lot of work
is gone.
Let's quickly talk about the Ashojuoba Table Tennis Championship. 45 years of existence. I must commend you guys for that consistency. But if it has stayed that long, how come it's not an ITTF ranking tournament?
There were conditions to make any tournament ITTF ranked. The sponsor, kudos to him, he's done so great for table tennis. He has always insisted that because the idea that brought it about was originated from Lagos, that the tournament should be limited to only Lagos State players. So only Lagos-based players participate in the tournament. And if it were a national tournament, perhaps by now ITTF would have been taking steps to recognize it. But it is not usual for ITTF to recognize regional tournaments as ITTF sanctioned tournaments. I think that's about the only reason.
Talk to me. Let's talk on the national front. How can you explain table tennis in Nigeria?
Table tennis got to the limit of its achievement a couple of years ago, just as I mentioned, and came down. But again, table tennis is on the rise. We are lucky to have the Honorable Commissioner for Sports in Lagos doubling as the president of Nigerian Table Tennis Federation. And because he had always been a man of table tennis, I want to apologize for this if other sports will feel offended that I am calling him a table tennis. But the reality is that he has always had this passion for table tennis, even before he became the Commissioner for Sports. So it's not surprising that he's taking these steps to make table tennis come back again. He was a sponsor even before he became the chairman of Lagos State Table Tennis. He was always sponsoring table tennis. Then he became the chairman. He continued to sponsor, and he had a lot of his friends coming to participate in the sponsorship of Prt1. And as long as he remains the president, I am sure the sport will be on the rise.
Quickly, let's just talk about the products from the just concluded Table Tennis International Classics. Good one. Again, I must commend Lagos State government. But what's next for those winners? Because I've not been hearing about Cecilia Otwakman after the tournament. She's gone with the wins.
Well, you have not been hearing because she has not taken part in any tournament outside Nigeria. These tournaments come about from time to time, but they also require to be funded. A lot of the players that are playing locally cannot afford the funds to take them outside this country.
So isn't that what you guys should, put into consideration? After this tournament, let's try to register our winners so that they can sustain the momentum. Play more tournaments, get out there, get exposure.
Yes, the good thing is that these tournaments are getting many by the day, so that if they cannot go outside Africa, within Africa they should be able to attend some of the tournaments. But one other good thing is that even Nigeria would host the second edition of the International Classics next year. That has been guaranteed by the International Table Tennis Federation. We just received the letters of approval. And Nigeria also is going to host the top 16 in Africa. That's a qualification event for the World Cup. So these are opportunities during which our local players will showcase their talents, and we expect that other players from other countries will also come and participate. So if it is not immediately possible for our players to go outside there and compete against their peers from other countries, this sanction, this approval by the ITTF will guarantee that at least our local players will take part in international tournaments.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do you still play table tennis?
Yes, incidentally, I started playing table tennis when I was in primary school, just for fun.
Because at the Ashojuoba table tennis, I should come there and beat you.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Just before I leave, I want to actually express deep appreciation to the governor of Lagos State.
Okay.
What we are today, the height we have reached today in Nigeria is through his personal effort. Last year, we went to China on a training tour. The result of that was that just before the National Sports Festival, Ashojuoba tournament came in. So it was like the final training program for us.